My name is Mara and I am a freelance social media manager. I have started freelancing over the last year without any experience, and today I'm going to share with you some of my tips, my top 4 tips on how to become a social media manager with a zero experience. So if that is what you're here for, let's get right into it. So the first tip that I'm going to give you is to understand that even though you don't have any experience, what you have is education. What I mean by this is there are so many channels out there, there are so many platforms out there that provide you with certifications that revolve around marketing, social media marketing. Platforms like HubSpot, Coursera, Google certifications. It's important to understand that if you want to get your foot in the door, you don't necessarily have to have experience, but you do need to educate yourself. That's what's going to make you look good in front of a potential client you want to be able to work with. So some certifications that you can take as an initial person trying to get into social media marketing is the HubSpot social media certification, the digital marketing certification, inbound marketing. One of the things that helped me was that when I was applying for, sending proposals for these clients to consider me as a social media manager, I was saying I understand social media marketing. I'm certified in this. I want to help you create a strategy because I know, even though I haven't had the experience of implementing a strategy with someone else, I have the knowledge, so that can get my foot in the door, especially as a beginner, especially for people who have maybe a lower budget, people who are looking for, entry-level social media managers and social media marketers. And even if the rate might be a little low to start with, this is going to be your, sounding board. This is going to be where you're going to jump off from. You start in with your education, no experience, going in with someone at an entry level, gain that experience, and then you can move on to another person with experience and a higher rate. My next tip for you is going to be to do your research. When you are sending proposals to a potential client, whether that is through a platform like Upwork or Fiverr, or just through LinkedIn, or people that you've met, it's important to understand what industry is your potential client in. Are they in the marketing sphere? Are they in the recruitment sphere? What sphere are they in? Who are the competitors in that industry? What are they doing when it comes to social media strategy? What is your potential client's mission, goals? Because the important thing to understand when it comes to social media marketing is that social media marketing is a tool to help the company meet its business goals. So you need to understand the company and its goals in order to provide value for them. And so as someone who doesn't have any experience in, social media marketing directly, you want to come in already having done your research, so that you come off as somebody that does the work, right? Someone who took the time to understand the industry, took the time to come up with some ideas beforehand and provide that value for that client. The client wants to know that even though you're someone who hasn't worked with other clients before, you have that learning capability, you have that initiative to make sure that you understand the concepts, that you understand who they are and how you can help them meet their goals. The third tip is to understand how to use certain platforms such as Canva, scheduling platforms such as Later, Buffer, Planoly, Facebook scheduling. So even though, as a social media marketer, you're not, a graphic designer unless you already have that experience, what you'll realize is as a social media marketer or manager, you're going to be asked sometimes to make graphics. It's going to be sometimes in your job description to create the whole content from beginning to end, making the graphics, creating the copy or the content, and also scheduling it. So you want to do some research on how, platforms like Canva, which literally give you templates for different types of content. You want to be able to know how to schedule on multiple platforms. So if this is a company that uses Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, what are some options for them to get on a scheduling platform, just in case that they're not already on it. So what I would suggest in this case is try to understand how to use the free options, because obviously, like, if there is a free option that you can do all these things on, you're gonna want to always think of like, how can this client save money, but also, like, if there are better options out there that are paid, if they ask you to let them know about some platforms, you can do like a comparison chart, right? Here are some free options, here are some paid options, what are the benefits, and they can decide. At the end of the day, they can decide what was the best option for them. And definitely some amazing platforms out there that I've used personally are Loonly, where you can have the client kind of come in, have their own account, and approve the content, which is easy because then you just can create the content, they can look at it, they can approve it, and they can actually schedule it. Loonly has a price. It's usually, depending on which platform that you have, you're going to have to pay something, but as well, you can also look at platforms like Buffer allows you to connect to multiple accounts like Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and then be able to post for free there. Like, if you want other options like adding a first comment or things like that, I'm not sure if that's exactly like one of the paid options, but like, you can always upgrade for paid options. So do your research. Like, at the end of the day, if anything like that I want you to take from this video is do your research. Do your research on how to get educated, do your research on the company and their industry, like do your research on how to create content, how to create graphics, how to make the best type of product for your potential client. And final tip for you is to just learn to be human. Be human when it comes to engaging with your clients. Be human when it comes to engaging with other people. What you'll realize when you're working with clients, when you're creating social media content, is that people don't engage well, like, necessarily with businesses that are just like, here, I'm selling you this thing, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy. You need to build trust, and the only way you can build trust is being human, like having a personality, like, you know, being caring, being funny, being empathetic. So when you're creating content and you're, you know, engaging for the client, if that's part of, you know, your role, if you're engaging for the client, or, you know, just when you're interacting, remember to be human and think about your experiences. But I personally am someone who, I want to feel like I know a brand. I want to feel like this brand is a human being before they're like a money selling machine. So think about that when you're engaging. Think about that when you're speaking with your clients. Like, you know, doing all this research and becoming educated doesn't mean also that you're going to talk to them like all these like huge terminology and like make them feel like what you're saying to them is above them. You always want to talk to clients, talk to people in a way that they understand, like meet them at their level, even if you have like a whole bunch of knowledge, because you can have the knowledge and you can show, you know, the certifications, but at the end of the day, aside from the knowledge, people want to know that they can work with you. People want to know that they can trust you, that you are a decent human being. So definitely take that with you, along with do your research. But that is all for this video. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because that really helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.